1 in 5 children worldwide does not have enough water to meet their everyday needs. That's according to a new report from the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or Unicef. It has revealed that children in more than 80 countries live in areas with high or extremely high water vulnerability. The most affected children are those in Eastern and Southern Africa. For more on this, I'm joined by Godfrey from Unicef. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. So children are the most vulnerable to water scarcity, but how does it impact their lives in real terms?
Well, within the region of East and Southern Africa, of the numbers that you've just quoted, 50 million children in East and Southern Africa are living in areas of very, very high water vulnerability. And it affects their lives in every way, in terms of their ability to find time for access to education, the impact it has on the public health, and also just the overall equity associated really with those children. So water is really fundamental for the rights of the child. And it's one of the key sort of factors within this report that we produced as UNICEF this year to really highlight some of the deprivations and challenges that children face within East and Southern Africa.
What did UNICEF's study find about the impact of climate change in terms specifically of what we're expecting to see in the next 10 to 20 years?
Well, the Climate Crisis and Children report that has been released by UNICEF is really demonstrating that there's been a 6-fold increase in the numbers of droughts, floods and cyclones that are affecting Southern Africa over the last 25 years. And of course, this has an immediate effect on a number of areas of social services. Destruction of schools, of course, which interrupts the potential education. The fact that we're resulting in many areas where we have a real issue of water scarcity, which is driving displacement and migration. And also, of course, the key issues which are faced by people who are actually then affected by a number of different public health challenges due to the climate crisis.
How does the Water Security for All initiative aim to make a tangible difference?
Well, Water Security for All is really a flagship that UNICEF is leading within the UN family to try and raise awareness amongst all partners of the importance of water. Water is critical, of course. We can survive as human beings only for 2 or 3 days without water, but we can survive up to a month without food. And we really do need to tackle this issue of water availability within the African continent. So the report itself is highlighting some of the deprivations, but it's also giving some potential solutions. And it's really looking at then how UNICEF, as a lead agency in water as a child's right, is some area which we can then provide some stimulus and change within the continent.
Is there a way to change the situation permanently when water is a finite resource?
Well, water needs to be managed. Water itself needs to be protected, and also water needs to be underexploited. One of the challenges that we face is the issue of really the behaviour change, the understanding that water itself is finite. And it's very, very important that whatever water supply is provided, and I think the recent examples that we had in Cape Town during the challenges during the last few months and years really also shows that water itself needs to be managed from the point of extraction all the way through to distribution and all the way through to use at a household level. So water itself is critical for our human life, but it's also very important that we take it with value. And I think the World Water Day report for 2021 has actually as its title, Valuing Water, and really focuses on that value of water, not just its economic value, but also its value in terms of a human right and its economic value.
Well, thank you very much. That was Godfrey from UNICEF. We are celebrating Human Rights Day today. Of course, access to basic water is a human right, but unfortunately with every right comes a responsibility, and managing water responsibly is up to each and every one of us.